Hey, how's it going, guys? Like Butter here, and welcome to another Division video. Today I want to talk to you guys about the Nimble change in 1.6.1. I have a short little gameplay here for you where we're just going through and clearing an HVT completely solo. So I want to give you guys an update of like what the change is and how Nimble feels compared to how it was in 1.6. Now, if you're a little bit confused about 1.6.1, this is a quality of life update where there's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of balancing changes, and there's not going to be any new content added besides the fact of that we're going to have loadouts now, which is one of the coolest things that I could have ever imagined for the Division. The fact that you can put multiple builds together and then just switch them with one click of the button in the UI is actually mind-blowing, and I don't think people realize what a huge game changer loadouts is. I know it's something that could have been in from the start, but now that we have it, it is unreal. Like, I actually want to go out and make new builds now because I know that there's not going to be a huge hassle switching between them. But one change that a lot of people are talking about, some people are saying that the change isn't good enough, that Nimble's still OP, some people are saying Nimble is completely useless. So I want to give you guys a breakdown of what changed with Nimble and how it can still be used in a very, very effective way if you're using a high-end build, or sometimes if you even want to use it on some other build. Maybe you want to do like 4-piece striker and then use like Nimble and Specialized or something like that, or Nimble and Barrett's. I think Nimble is still one of the best high-end talents in the game. If you don't know what Nimble is, basically when you run from cover to cover on PC, it's by holding space. Now on console, I'm not 100% sure, but there's definitely a button when you look at cover that you need to hold if you want to do the cover to cover movement. It's a feature that's in the game that kind of makes you run directly to a piece of cover that you want to go to across from wherever you are. Now, depending on the distance that you run, for every 2 meters that you run, you're going to heal for 2% of your health. Or every meter that you run, you're going to heal for 2% of your health. And that can be quite a lot if you're running a long distance. And the fact that the old Nimble, you would get your health instantly when you reach the cover and it had no cooldown whatsoever, made it pretty strong. So you could basically just run from cover to cover over and over and over again and just pretty much get infinite health. Massive decided that this was a little too overpowered for both PvP and PvE, and I kind of have to agree with that. As much as I like using Nimble, as much as I like just abusing it in PvE and making PvE content extremely easy, I do have to say, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, I do have to say running from cover to cover and getting your health bar filled completely up with no cooldown whatsoever is just completely removes any fact of needing something like a first aid heal or an immunizer, really any type of heal in the game at all. You don't need it. Especially with like contaminated events and stuff like that, it made it super, super strong just being able to run from cover to cover to cover. Sometimes you just heal right through the damage of the NPCs. Now, what they changed is they made it so that the heal is over time, so they actually didn't nerf the amount of heal that you get. They could have done it that way, but I think a lot of people would have been a little bit upset about that. But now it's a heal over time, which I think fixes it for everyone because it makes it not as strong in PvP. Now, I had some people on my last video say that Nimble wasn't OP in PvP because you have quote-unquote pinpoint accuracy and you should be able to kill them before they run from cover to cover. Well, this is actually not true because there is a talent that gives you 30% damage reduction when you're running from cover to cover, and if you add that with the fact of you can put on 4-piece final measure, there's actually no way to knock them out of their, out of their animation from running cover to cover, and they're always going to heal through your damage. Now, this was something that was super frustrating in 1.6 because people who knew how to abuse this would pretty much just run around your spawn point and there was nothing you could do. There was nothing you could do to kill this person. Now, if you were coordinated with a couple other people, you could throw multiple grenades and then it would consume the first grenade and then the second grenade would knock them out. But if you need to have 3 or 4 people to be coordinated on one part of the map just to knock somebody out of this, this running animation, then it's probably a little bit overpowered. So I think the change now makes Nimble still like still really good. It's definitely not going to be as broken as it was. You're not going to be able to just kind of run from cover to cover right in someone's face and think that you're going to live it, but you do get the same amount of heal over time. So if you have people who are kind of cheesing this with final measure, you're going to be able to do a lot of damage while they're running, and then when they hit the cover, they have to stay in cover for 4 seconds to receive the full heal. I think this is a great change to Nimble. I know some people aren't going to like it at first, but I promise once you play a little bit more tactical and realize that, okay, once I hit the cover, I have to be behind cover a little bit more. I mean, this is a cover-based shooter, guys. I think that this change was very, very good for the game, both PvP and PvE, because in PvE, it didn't really seem like it changed much at all. Now, when I had an NPC behind me and they were just shooting me in the back, yeah, of course, I couldn't just run from cover to cover and heal through their damage. But if I was behind cover, I could run from cover to cover and constantly get that heal. So Nimble, in my opinion, still one of the best high-end talents in the game. I think people are still going to really, really enjoy it, and I think it's still going to be a premier pick when it comes to making your builds. Now that there's different loadouts, you can try different things. Like, it's actually kind of crazy, and I know I say that a lot, but as a day one player, as somebody who's played this game since alpha, you know, the introduction of gear sets was so cool because you could play your character in so many different ways. Now I'm so much more motivated to try these different builds in Theorycraft and try cool, interesting builds that I think will be really cool in certain situations. You can make your builds much more situational now than you used to be able to, because you used to have to make a build that kind of allowed you to do well in everything, PvE, PvP, every situation. And sometimes you would have to sit there and stick with a build that wasn't perfect for a certain situation because the hassle of changing was just a little bit too much. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Be sure to drop the video a like if you enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.